Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Time for today's public recap. So, I'm going to go over today's intraday order flow. If you're unfamiliar, that's what we're looking at right here. This is order flow. More specifically, this is a footprint chart. If you're unfamiliar with what these charts are or how to read them, linked to the home page of the channel here, I have a quick video going over how to read my specific footprint charts. They're very customizable. So just beware, that's how you read my charts. But what we're looking at here is transacted volume, and this is the E-mini or the ES, more commonly referred to as. So we're going to take a look at today's intraday price action and the daily plan. So this zone, and these two green ones were part of the daily plan. Now we're going to go over the makings of the daily plan as well as how today actually developed. So, as always, I start making my daily plan with my TPO chart, also called a time price opportunity chart, also called a market profile chart. Different names, but again, it's all the same thing. So, time price opportunity charts, I just call them TPO charts, so let's call it that. They revolve around time, right? Time is a huge factor in the market, not just price. So, things that we look at here are each of these market profiles. What are the shapes of them? What do the tops and bottoms look like? These blue lines, this is value areas. So we have value area low down here, value area high. We also have the point of control, not to be confused with volume point of control, right? Where the most volume is done in a session, as can be seen here with this orange node. Point of control is where the most time has been spent, right? Time is a huge factor in the markets. And what this allows us to use, and what we use it for rather, is looking at market structure. Are we trading in balance, out of balance? Is there structure to be cleaned? Are we currently cleaning structure? A whole bunch of different things that, again, allow us to view the sentiment of market participants. So we kind of have a jam-packed week. We have Powell speaking, I believe, at Wednesday, 2:30 market time. There's jobless claims. I think there's PCE, don't quote me. But my point is there's a whole bunch of different things. So it's always super important to know what the current sentiment is between market participants and what the auction is saying. And again, we gain that here in the TPO charts. So from TPO charts, well, with the TPO charts, as I do with all my other time frames, I always like to analyze them. To be a day trader, to be any type of trader, you need to know what's going on. But not only just looking at your charts and knowing what's going on, but I like physical copies. I annotate, I take screenshots, and I send in the room just for other people to learn, right? People learn different ways. We have videos, introductory series, as well as annotations and even live market commentary as things develop. So the 4-hour chart, as we see here, this is kind of what it looks like. Let me pull it up on the actual charting because it looks prettier. I'll annotate everything I'm seeing. Do we have a bid that's holding? Do we have a bid that's walking up? Maybe an offer walking down? Right? This is like an aggressive seller. They are moving down on the tape. Buyers are moving down as well. They're unable to hold the level, so they're just moving down, buying, being ran over. Do we see exhaustion, right? A zero print. A zero print is a picture perfect example of exhaustion. No one else is willing to transact in this area. This was Friday into the close. That means price is going to go to where we know people are happy to transact. And we could see we stalled over here into Sunday's open, right? This is where the session closed. And we know price is happy to trade here, actually even more when we look left. Why? Because look at all the volume that's being transacted here. People aren't willing to transact here. We're going to go to where people want to transact. Is there trapped participants? Do we have gaps in volume? Rather than these aggressive sellers or aggressive buyers, do we have passive sellers, passive buyers? Many different things that we can and should be taking off the tape. Now that doesn't end here on the 4-hour. Although the 4-hour is my favorite time frame, again, I believe we get pretty much the most information as day traders. That's not always the case. We do have to look at multiple time frames, and that's where our daily chart comes in. So I'll do the exact same thing. I'll annotate everything that I see and that I think is important for us to know intraday. And I'll send it out in the daily plan tab in the room. We have a Discord server. So today, usually Sunday nights, Monday mornings, I'll have a week ahead video. Today was this morning, and it's kind of what to expect. We'll recap what went down the past week or two, and then what to expect for this week. So we ran last week's high, or 2 weeks ago, we ran the highs, consolidated here. Myself and another member, we were eyeing, or the room was eyeing a long down here, but myself and another member, if you guys go back onto last week's videos, we caught this long down here. Now I didn't hold it for as long as my plan said I should. I sold everything for I think 44, 45 points. The rest, or the last of my position, wanting to swing higher, but we're not perfect. I gave into emotions. I saw the P&L, and again, I gave into it. But anyway, this morning I said, don't be surprised if we have a balanced day, if we build balance, right? Market sentiment's a little bit less with these news events, but it's not only that. There's some things we have to look at. Their structure. TPO again helps us with that, and some things happened on Friday. So we're looking, or weren't to be surprised if we wouldn't continue this up move, or people on stock twits all the time just think we're going down every single day. We're going to, I think the joke is 1929 lows. But yeah, don't be surprised if we balance. With COVID, QE, there was so much more volatility in the market that we would see the highs and lows of ranges sometimes in the same day. Now volatility, although not back to before then, has definitely slowed down quite a bit. So most of the time, the general rule of thumb is that we see balance days 70% of the time, and we'll see trend days 30%. So due again to what we saw structurally, it was pretty likely that we would see a balance day. So let me bring up, that's the makings of the daily plan, and let me bring up my post of the daily plan. I post the same thing here on YouTube through the community tab. It's just easier for me to look at here. So I said my personal daily plan for today. I just want to emphasize the first sell zone is very cautious. I do not love it, but there were some things of confluence there that I felt I should have it marked just in case. So during the open 30, actually the open hour 15, I was on the trading floor in our Discord, and I was typing the live market commentary because I didn't want anyone to be a bear too soon here, right? I think I have it here. Levels/zones are just levels/zones until you see on the tape, right? This is the tape, order flow, footprint, whatever. That market makers, big hands, algos, whatever people like to chalk them off as, are on your side. Just because we're trading up here, we see a selling imbalance at a sell zone, that does not mean we're looking to short. There's a lot of other things we have to look at. Traders, whether it be order flow traders or technical analysis traders, maybe they see a double top at a zone they want to sell. There's more to it than that. If trading was that simple, of just seeing a selling imbalance, seeing a doji candle, everyone would trade for a living. There's more to it, and you need to have patience. Now, of course, the things didn't line up here. So we go to the live charts. Let me actually pull up a 30-minute chart so it's a little bit cleaner. And let me fix it. So this is obviously the open 30 candle, and we see right here high volume area. There was a lot of participants here, and sellers tried their hand here. If you remember in other videos, I say if this is a sell zone I want to be active at, I want to see sellers below, right? Why would I want to see sellers front running my level? Because the majority of participants will be stopped out, and in them stopping out hopefully comes right to my zone, and I get to sell. So right, I'm seeing what I want to see. I was typing in this in the room. I see sellers here. This is what I want to see, but I'm not a seller yet myself. I'm still waiting. There's certain things on the tape, on the 30-minute, the 4-hour, the daily, even a 5-minute I watch on the footprint chart. When we run these sellers, there's things that we want to see on the tape. We're monitoring the delta in volume, looking at those different time frames. Do we have exhaustion on these time frames? A whole bunch of different things, what the distributions are like on these time frames. A lot goes into it, and that's why I have strict entry criteria. I have written out, I have videos on it in the video library, my entry criteria, everything that I need to line up for me to take a trade. Now, obviously, that didn't line up, and that's where order flow saves us from being a seller, right? We're not taking trades at levels just because they're our level. More things have to go into it. So it saved us, and pretty much into, once the first half an hour closed, and shortly into the next half an hour, it was pretty obvious that this was going to be a balanced day. right? Balance days look like, one second, like this, like a D. Happy bell-shaped curve, price is happy to trade within the value areas. Now there's ways you could trade balance days, and to be fair, balance days are my favorite days to trade, but that's only when we're at a key inflection point and it's lining up nicely. Now, you could see here, once we close below this sell zone, in this candle, we took a revisit. Nothing super clean here, but here you do see clear sellers, but again, this sell zone wasn't really lined up how I would like. I would prefer it at the extreme of balance, whether it be the bottom or the top. So this is just where you wait out. People think that to be a career trader, you need to trade every day, you need to make money every day, and that's not true. Your whole goal is minimizing your risk exposure, knowing the places to be an active market participant, right? We spoke about here, this long, right? I was licking my lips for this long down here. I was long at 67 and a quarter, and I actually sized up for this long, just because of how big this is, right? We want to be active at the extremes, not trading, in the middle. This is where a lot of traders, a lot of day traders especially, get chopped thinking that they have to trade every day. You need to wait for the extremes. If you remember, I believe we went over it last recap, or you've definitely seen in old videos, this high day was put in right at a sell zone. So there's things that we could look at, confluence between the footprint, between TPO. We teach market auction theory, a whole bunch of different things that we need to build confluence between for us to be able to actually take trades and have good risk to reward, right? Minimizing our risk exposure. So that's pretty much today. Balance day. We'll come back again probably tomorrow, if not the next day. But if you're interested in this type of trading, I'll leave a link to my website in the description. So, and also if you're a successful trader already, you read order flow or whatnot, and you just want to compare your reading of the market to mine, you could get access to just the daily plan tab in the Discord server, and you could see my annotations of the TPO 4-hour footprint chart and the daily. Or you could join the Discord room. We're a very, very small group. I'm going to keep it that way, right? It's a mentorship style. I have time to review everyone's trades who wants their trades to be reviewed. It's only fair, right? So you could read the benefits or email me if you have any questions. But again, I'll see you guys in the next public recap. Cheers.